Hi divas! Welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel, welcome to today's video, which is very exciting. Like, I actually could tear up. Who's to say I won't? Oh my gosh. Wait. Okay, sorry. Let's stay on focus. Let's stay on task. Hi! Welcome to... No, like, I'm tearing up. Our Perfect Storm reading vlog. Something tells me, like, I low-key might finish this in one sitting. No, I don't think I'll finish it in a sitting. It looks really long. But also these are, like, bigger pages and bigger text. This is 400 and something pages. We're gonna knock out at least 200 a day. Mainly because I want to take this back and turn it back in already. And I know I'm gonna be over there tomorrow. But also because I cannot believe my... like legitimate most anticipated read of the year. Typically Emily Henry takes first place, but this year, since there was no Emily Henry, it was in fact Carley Fortune. Kind of like tied Carley Fortune and Annabelle Monaghan. Already read Dolly all the time, absolutely loved it, but very excited.
I didn't like the dialogue in that book. There was just really not much that I liked in it. I did tell myself I'd at least read the second book, and then I pulled it in my roulette series.
No, you guys, when I tell you, like, I'm about to cook my dinner, but I have a feeling I'm going to finish this by, well, I was going to say nightfall. Probably not nightfall. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, definitely not nightfall. It's already 7 o'clock. But I have a feeling I'm going to finish this by the time I go to sleep. I'm at page 50. So 50 pages in. Thoughts so far? No one does it like Carley Fortune. Like, between Carley Fortune, Emily Henry, and Annabelle Monaghan, those are my favorite authors ever. My favorite autobi authors. My favorite romance authors. I'm sitting there calculating they're all romance, right? Yep. And one thing I do like about this is, obviously, if you guys don't know, which I guess I didn't really even tell the story, but basically, this is the story about two best friends, George and Frankie. Frankie is getting married. Her fiance basically leaves her at the altar. He leaves her a note the day of their wedding, and says he can't marry her. Anyway, that's not a spoiler. It's literally in the first paragraph here. The point is, so we have dual timeline, but I like it because it's in the way. So I'll show you, like, the prologue. These chapters, so like this says we were 8, and I just read another one that says we were 10, and that's how she's doing, like, the dual POV, so I really like that. Very interesting. Definitely don't think I've read a book that's done it that way, but very cool. So good. Loving the characters, loving the story so far, even though we're only 50 pages in. And what does that mean? We probably have 400 pages to go, but to be fair, this is like a huge book, so the text is like really big. The lighting, it's harsh. This is crazy. This is giving serial killer lighting. Oh my god, look at that. It's giving stage light. I might blind myself from this. I just reached 100 pages. I have no words. They've just made it to the honeymoon spot. Sounds amazing. The descriptive, like, the detailing that Carley Fortune puts in her books, like, I feel like I'm fully transported to Canada in summer, and I'm so excited. I'm already giggling and kicking my feet. So this means I think I have like 320 pages left. I feel almost certain that I will finish this tonight in one sitting, which is crazy. I actually can't remember the last time I've done that. I know there was a book here that I did it, but I always think about the time that I had no clue that Jessa Hastings was releasing The Conditions of Will, and I just, like, happened upon it in a bookstore one day, and I went home, read it, and I could not put it down. Gobbled it up in one sitting. Anyhow, thoughts? So good, so cute, so wholesome. Loving. I already don't want it to be over. Divas. We are halfway. I feel like I finally am at a point where I can talk about the story and the feelings. I really am trying to, like, you know, sit on it longer when I have more context before I start just, like, blabbering. Which, to be honest, I think I've actually already blabbered, but that's okay. Okay, so we are halfway. I literally am texting Maddie being like, you have to read this now. Like, I need you to read it like it was yesterday. I just... Carley Fortune's always going to do it for me. It feels weird because I'm so, like, attached and stuck in Barry's Bay. So when I'm reading her other books, which I read Meet Me at the Lake and This Summer Will Be Different. Yeah, This Summer Will Be Different. And obviously One Golden Summer. This time last year, a year ago. So I read 3 of her books within like days. Also say that really has nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm so attached and so stuck to like Barry's Bay and those characters that sometimes like it's kind of hard for me to detach from that like storyline, I guess. I don't know if that's really a good way to say it, but I have to remember like this is not Barry's Bay, this is not One Golden Summer, this is not Every Summer After, this is not Charlie, this is not Percy, this is, you know what I'm saying? So it takes me a while to like, or it took me a while today to kind of like get my thoughts and be like, okay, this is a different story, different everything. I mean, it does still take place in Canada, but anyway, many things to say other than that. I just blabbered for like 2 minutes. So as we discussed, Follows 2 best friends, they've kind of fallen out of their friendship, and I do have to say, I went in like expecting one dynamic and one situation to be true, and it isn't necessarily how I thought their friendship, it didn't dissolve, but like the strengths that I thought going into this would be are totally different, and the dynamics between Frankie and George are totally different than I thought they would be. Does that make sense? Also, I just found out that they have, well, I didn't just, but like probably like 50 pages ago, found out that they have each other's names tattooed on their rib cage. Imagine you're dating someone, you find out they have their best friend's name tattooed on their rib cage. And I do have to say, like, I think the synopsis I thought going into this was going to be, oh, like, one likes the other and they're, like, never shared. But I think obviously they both love each other in a friendship way, but I think they both liked and were attracted to each other, but they were so scared of ruining the friendship. This is just a guess. I don't know. I'm only halfway in. But that's kind of my assumption, is that they were so scared of ruining a friendship. It was never that they weren't attracted or didn't have feelings for each other. It was just that they were just like so petrified. And unfortunately, this is gonna be one of those books again. I just text Maddie where I'm like, oh, right. I relate to each character equally. I relate to George because he's like a travel photographer, never home, running away from everything. And then Frankie I see a lot of myself in her. She's very outspoken, is who she is. And part of the reason that George, obviously, you guys, if you haven't guessed from now, I probably put a like disclaimer in the beginning. This is probably going to be like a full spoil vlog. Anyway, one of the reasons they had a strain in their relationship was George didn't like the way that she was around her fiance, Nate, because he felt like she didn't share her opinions. She didn't feel like she could be her full self. And that is so important. And that is one of the things I'm loving most from George as a character, is that he is a champion and really trying to be there for her, and has taken so many steps to like show up how he can best to help her go through this breakup and like what she's going through. And I just love it. We love a man who supports you being like your authentic self. Like, if I feel like if anyone's like loud and very opinionated and very set in their ways or their ideas or their personality, And for me, like, I think about me and like people I know that have been told, like, you need to like present yourself in a certain way. You need to be quieter. You're too loud. Like, you're too whatever. You're too extra. And to have someone in your corner that's like, no, you're the perfect amount. And I'm gonna have to like try to find the page. I'm obviously not like highlighting or underlining because I'm gonna turn this book back in for a credit. But there's a part where she's like, oh, like I was too much or something. He was like, no, you're never too much. You like might be very opinionated or very whatever, but you're the perfect you. And I said, okay, no, I'll sob. No, I'll sob. Anyhow, I'm really enjoying it. I will say the only thing is there's a lot of setup. Like, we are halfway and we're only like a day or two into the honeymoon. So there's a lot of setup. I do think like part of it obviously is necessary. And I also would have liked to know like a little more of the relationship with Nate, even though I know that's not what this book is about. Like, we don't even really know why he left her. I mean, I know, but you know, it hasn't been said in the book. But anyhow, okay, I'm gonna go now. Also, plot twist, whenever I read, it was like maybe like 10 pages in, they were like, and she was like, Nate's 16 years older. Oh, didn't know there's gonna be an age gap in this book. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go. I had to pull the camera out because I literally gasped. I went in my empty apartment by myself. So I need to get that on camera. Not my eyes already tearing up. Wait a damn minute. Where are we? We're at page 219. I did not see that type of reaction. Okay, George. Okay, George. Divas. I'm actually unwell. We have... Whoa. Give me 1 second. Where are we? We're on page 333. Angel numbers. Which means we have like 70-ish pages left. I can't believe I've read this in one sitting. My updates are... I actually have like many updates. I'm in like, I don't know, probably the worst position. Okay. What do I have to say? I actually have a lot to say. Lighting is absolutely slaying. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, first of all, the friends are now lovers. Obviously. Obviously. Second, I was right. They did always have like an attraction to each other. So it is kind of funny. Like, I just find it so interesting when it's like, hey, it's kind of like normal people where you're like, you know, it's not illegal to date. That's not really like normal people at all, but you know what I mean? It's actually not illegal. Like, it's legal for you guys to date. It's really not that big of a deal. And I do also like feel the same way as I said, that they obviously were just like too terrified to ruin the friendship. So yeah, I am really enjoying it. Carley's writing always is just like, it really is like a 10 out of 10 or 5 stars out of 5 stars. It's never her writing that I dislike. It's more like characters or plot lines, or you know what I'm saying, or third act breakups, like situations. It's never her writing, because her writing is just so good. I'm honestly kind of surprised. I was worried that this wasn't going to be as good as some of her other books to me, but honestly, even Meet Me at the Lake, which is like my least favorite of her books, right? Is Meet Me at the Lake? Yeah. Is my least favorite. I like still, sorry, I lost my train of thought, but what was the thing? Oh, even like my least favorite of her books, the writing of it is always still like a 10 out of 10. Anyway, really, really enjoying it. I just genuinely can't believe I'm already almost done with it. Okay, here are the things right now. Obviously, I don't know the ending yet, or like what happens, if there will be a third act breakup. I'm not sure like what the third act like situation will be. Other than probably one of the two of them freaking out, being like, "What have we done? This can never work." And it's just like, one of you is a freelance journalist and the other is a freelance chef. I think it can work. I did find it really funny. It's like so unrealistic. Obviously, George has family money, and it's just interesting, like the money aspect of it. Because it's like, y'all going to this resort on this kind of budget? That's cray. Anyway, I'm kind of whispering because my window's open. What else was I gonna say? I know what I was gonna say. I'm obviously not as attached. I'm trying not to compare it to last year's reading because last year's reading was One Golden Summer. I mean, I read other books of hers last year, but One Golden Summer was the like height of it was her big release last year. So obviously, like, I'm connected to those characters in that story more than I would be to like a regular book. But there's an element to the characters I feel like I'm missing. I don't know how really to describe it, but I'm gonna finish it before I go into that thought. So, and yeah, okay. My camera's overheating, but I'll be right back. Oh my god, I can't breathe. I was already sobbing from this book and everything. Oh my god. Why? I was already sobbing from the ending of the book. And oh my god. Okay, breathe, Elizabeth. I was already sobbing from the ending of the book because this was so good. It's such a beautiful story. And then in the, what do you call it, epilogue, Amelia Island is mentioned. I'm so unwell because of diligent tracking efforts. We know that 1950 was last seen before she was killed near Florida's Amelia Island. Wait, that's insane. That's insane. Hi, girls. Good morning. We did not sleep well. It's actually now 11. I woke up at like, or I got up at like 9:30, but I kind of just like scrolled and rotted for a good like 45 minutes. Hi. I did realize once I got all snug as a bug in my bed that I didn't even come back and finish talking about the book. I just vlogged me sobbing at the end of it. Yes, we love that. I have my morning coffee. Bring me back to life. Anywho, okay, let's talk about the book. I really should put you somewhere so I'm not having to hold you, but here we are. I'm having post-book depression. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys. I'm having post-book depression. The way I feel the same way about Annabelle Monahan's books and Emily Henry's, but specifically Carley Fortune just has a way of painting me into these locations. Barry's Bay. I need a Barry's Bay sweatshirt. I was just thinking about it whenever I was looking up when the show was coming out. I was like, someone's gotta have Barry's Bay merch. Anyway, the point of the story is I feel so transported into these locations, these beautiful summer spots. And I've never been to Canada, so I would love to go visit. This book, most of it obviously takes place in Torfina, I can't remember, at this gorgeous resort. But anyway, I do feel bad that I did like a full spoil reading vlog because this book just came out. Did I cut out the parts? I'm not sure. I might have, but if I didn't, I'm very sorry. But yeah, let's just talk about the book. Okay, I mentioned this no less than 8,000 times yesterday when I was talking to you about it, but just to recap, George, Frankie, best friends growing up. Frankie gets engaged and is getting married. George isn't showing up, and eventually walks through the door. They have their, what do you call it? Like, what do you call it? I always call it a dress rehearsal. Rehearsal dinner. Everything's all fine and dandy. And then the next morning, Frankie wakes up to a note from her fiance saying, I'm sorry, I can't do this. She doesn't know why. And then we kind of skip forward to July, maybe. So I think we skip forward like a couple months. I can't remember the timing exactly, but like they got married and then they were gonna take a vacation. I think 2 months later, 3 months, 3 months. They talk about it in the book. Anyway, so vacation, honeymoon. So anyway, George comes up with this whole plan that he is going to take her on the honeymoon, take care of everything. He's done all of the things. He's literally met with a psychologist or psychiatrist and told them like what's going on and what he needs to do to like best be there for Frankie. Like, I will sob thinking about it. Like, truly, I will sob. As I discussed previously, I thought it was gonna be a friends to lovers more in the way that like neither one of them ever saw each other that way, but it was a friends to lover as they both felt that way. What book was I just reading and this was happening? I don't know. Real Life? No, I'm joking. But the way George talks about it, it is like a slow burn. And I did like sit there thinking like, okay, first of all, you two have, like, pretty soon in the story we find out that they have each other's names tattooed on their rib cages. And you thought you could ever get over her? And vice versa? Like, imagine you're dating someone and you're like, oh, hey, just want to let you know, I have my guy best friend who is not gay, his name tattooed on my rib cage. And he has mine on his. I'm sorry, what? Okay, anyway, so it's really funny because I think of all the stories, and especially I think about like the normal people edits when they're like, you know, or not normal people, but like Phoebe and, was that her name? What's her name? I'm having a brain fart. But Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones. And when people are editing being like, you know, it's not illegal, like, you guys, it's not illegal, you can be together. Like, that's what I felt like reading this book. But anyway, I related so much to George's characters in the way that he's like running away, trying to what was that? Trying to distance himself from his feelings and everything, and thinks like if he can get far enough away, like maybe he'll be able to get over and let her be happy with someone. I also related a lot to Frankie's character in the way that she's like, I am not against marriage, but I don't want to be with someone that I feel has like the higher up on me, and just like talks a lot about not necessarily women empowerment, but being a strong, independent woman who doesn't feel like they need marriage or those kinds of things. And it's talked about a lot because, you know, George has these conversations where with her where he's like, you literally like never want to be married, never wanted a relationship, and then all of a sudden you just like met this guy and everything changed and you're this completely different person. And anyway, the story is beautiful. It's so good. I loved it. It like is kind of up there for my new favorite Carley Fortune. I'm like going back and forth because there's a part of me that's like there are little pieces that make it not a 5-star, but overall her writing every single time is gonna be a 5-star writing. Second of all, as soon as I pick up a book, like I can almost feel the 5-star feeling in it, and I felt that as soon as I read like literally the intro chapter, the epilogue. Is the epilogue? Prologue. As soon as I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a 5-star feeling because I was so sucked in. And then as soon as I made like 50 pages, I was like, oh, I'm gonna finish this tonight. Anywho, overall, I thought it was so good. I will say it's like kind of hard because obviously I think every summer after is always gonna be number one for me because it's the first book I read and the first like escape into Carley Fortune's writing and world. And then I would say One Golden Summer and this are tied for number 2. But I would probably say One Golden Summer just because I love Barry's Bay and that world. Although I was screaming at Charlie last summer reading the book. And then I would say Our Perfect Storm, even though like there's a part of it that's like, I don't know, it's kind of out there. I think if we didn't have so much, like, because we have a lot of preface, a lot of building up for these characters to understand, you know, where they're at, what has happened in the relationship, what their dynamic is, to set it up. Like, I felt we were legit like setting it up until like 150 pages in, like maybe halfway. And not halfway, but probably like 100 pages in, maybe more. And I think that's like the issue that I have to make it like number one, is because it felt like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it kind of felt like a lot of build up to get there, but even though it was 420 pages, I was wanting more. I was needing more. Anyhow, okay, that's basically it. Absolutely loved. It has taken place for number 3. Oh, I didn't finish my ranking. Meet Me at the Lake is last, and then This Summer Will Be Different would be 4. So, anyhow, love, love, love Carley Fortune. Thank you, Diva, for another amazing book. Okay, go pick it up. Go read it. Love you guys.